Hey guys, good morning. This is Brad Krantz. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for tuning in if you're catching this on replay. Hey, we just got back from a trip to Kalispell, Montana with some good friends of ours. And I'm a big reader, of course. And one of the books on my reading list was The Millionaire Next Door. I haven't read it, came out in 1996, but they had a copy of it. So I picked it up because it kind of accurately describes somewhere where I'm at this point. But started reading it, and there's a lot of good stuff in here. I think a lot of our, so I'm going to recommend you read the book, but it kind of dispels a lot of the myths that we have about what a millionaire is, who they are, how they live, where they live, type of house, cars, all that. So The Millionaire Next Door, I want to still encourage you to read that. I think it's a great portrait. But what's really interesting about it, I think we think that millionaires are, sports superstars, media stars, the Richard Bransons, the Jeff Bezos, the Bill Gates, and of course, music stars, stuff like that. But it's really interesting because I think the portrait they paint of the average millionaire is not necessarily the case. But one of the things that really stuck out to me about this book is 7 common denominators among those who are successfully building wealth or who have built wealth. And I thought this is important because I think so many of us guys, I'm 60, I'm in the retirement years. A lot of people are facing retirement, looking ahead, maybe don't have things dialed in the way they need to. So being wealthy isn't about having Bill Gates type of money. It's not about having yachts, 10,000 square foot homes, jets, all that type of stuff, guys. It means wealth really is what you've accumulated. Your income is what you spend. But how can you maintain that lifestyle if you couldn't work or didn't want to work? You have to be financially independent. So I want to talk about this, and please hear the message here. There are ways that you can increase your income, side gigs, etc. But let's answer the question first. I thought this was interesting. Who becomes wealthy? And one of the things they noted was usually the wealthy individual is a businessman who has lived in the same town for all of his adult life. And again, that's me. I'm in the Seattle area here, right? But they are a compulsive saver and investor, not a compulsive spender and non-investor. They are a compulsive saver and investor. So there's kind of some really important things here, some sound financial principles. Did you know that 80% of Americans, millionaires, are first generation rich? And I want to say this, my dad was one of those, and I applaud him. He's since passed back in 2012, but I want to applaud him for being a first generation millionaire in his family. But, fluent people typically follow a lifestyle that's conducive to accumulating money. And then here's where the 7 common denominators come in for those who successfully build wealth. Number 1, they live below their means, guys. That's important. If you make $100,000 a year, can you live on 50? If you make $200,000 a year, if you're spending that or more due to credit, that's living above your means. You want to be able to live below your means and well below your means. And here's an interesting statistic that I wanted to share, because this is so true, that 60%, we talk about sports stars, people they're like go from almost nothing to multi-million-dollar contracts. But did you know 60% of NBA players go broke within 5 years of departing the league, and 78% of former NFL players experience financial distress 2 years after retirement? You wonder why. Most professional athlete earnings are compressed into just a handful of years. I think the average lifespan of somebody in the NFL is like 4.2 years, something like that. So it's not very long, but you go from making nothing to all of a sudden multi-million dollars. You spend like it. Keeping up with the Joneses can be financially fatal for newly rich athletes. And that's unfortunately what happens far too often. So you've got to live below your means. Number 2, so are you living below your means? Number 2, they allocate their time, energy, and money efficiently in ways conducive to building wealth. And I could ask, are you doing that? So many people, it's out to eat at nice restaurants on the weekend, out partying, out going to the casinos, going down to Vegas gambling. I don't know what you're doing. I'm not making a judgment here, but is what you're doing, how you're spending your time, energy, and money, is it efficient, and is it conducive to building wealth? Because so many Americans, they waste a lot of money. They have to have the newest car. When I was self-employed, I was driving, I don't know, like a 12-year-old car. My employee, who was part-time, was driving a brand new car, and he had the gall to think I was underpaying him. And I'm like, you're driving a brand new car, I'm driving a 12-year-old car. So Are you spending your time, energy, and money efficiently, guys? Thirdly, they believe that financial independence is more important than displaying high social status. Again, this is that keeping up with the Joneses. I think if you do that, keeping up with the Joneses is a good way to go broke quick. Financial independence means that you're not dependent upon an income to meet your needs, support your lifestyle, et cetera, et cetera. But displaying a high social status, again, you make $200,000, $500,000 a year, but if you're spending that or more, you're going to have a hard time creating wealth because you're spending it all. So financial independence, you got to decide, is financial independence important for you? Do you want to keep up with the Joneses and have the nice cars, the nice homes, the nice clothes, all that stuff? Fourth, their parents didn't provide economic outpatient care. And that was really kind of talking about, they weren't trust fund babies. A lot of those people, from the very wealthy, they get the money and they run the family, they dwindle it, or they run the family fortune down. We were at the Conrad Mansion in Kalispell, Montana last week, and the son of Conrad, his son had actually gone on a spending spree and dwindled the family fortune down to basically nothing within a few years. That's the type of stuff that we're talking about. So don't do that. So are you doing that? Hopefully you're not. So fifth, their adult children are economically self-sufficient. Think about that. And I want to say, and I don't do this to brag, but my oldest daughter said, you are in a better financial condition. You have more money in the bank, more money saved up, savings and private equity than I did when I was your age. So are your adult children economically self-sufficient? That's an important thing to pass along: economic wisdom, financial literacy. Six, they're proficient in targeting market opportunities. I'm going to say a couple things about this. One, that's either, you don't just have 401k, but you are in the market. You seek out competent professional advice. You get a certified financial planner that's fee only. You have a CPA that knows what they're doing. You're not cheap on that. Those two people can really help you out. And if you have, thirdly, you've got a competent attorney that you can use if you need to. But you target market opportunities, stock market. Talk to somebody that knows what they're doing there. Talk with a certified financial planner. Also business opportunities. I think market opportunities are also businesses. I'm semi-retired, but I think one of the best things I did was connect with Adam and Ashley Reeker with their 3LE team last year and building and scaling global business with Jeunesse Global. It wasn't a decision on a whim. It was well thought out with people that know what they're doing. So you got to be proficient in targeting market opportunities. And then 7, you choose the right occupation. I'm semi-retired. I'm not in the workforce per se, but you have to have the right profession in order to do well. If you don't, it's going to be pretty tough. If you're a janitor, nothing against that, or working at McDonald's or a lower paying job, it's going to be really hard to accumulate wealth and achieve financial independence. You have to think and plan right. I found those really interesting. What was also interesting on this is that talking about who's the prototypical American multimillionaire? Well, I'm not going to get into that list. I'll save that for another message. But interestingly, guys, self-employed people make up less than 20% of the workers in America, but they account for 2/3 of the millionaires. Guys, 2/3 of our millionaires are self-employed. Guys, if you're looking, so you might think about that. Being self-employed is probably the way to go. 2/3 of people that are millionaires are self-employed. If you're seeking or looking for opportunity, looking for a side hustle, again, guys, hey, please reach out to me. I'd love to have a discussion. If it's something you're looking at to chat with before the end of the year, into the next year, 2021, planning ahead, please reach out. Please feel free to hit the subscribe button if you'd like to get more videos and content that I put out. I do Monday Morning Leadership, so you're welcome to tune into that. And also, please feel free to reach out to me on my social media, guys. Have an awesome day. Bye-bye. Take care.